What's up, Amazon sellers? There are lots of brands that you can find online, but the real question is, can you sell them on Amazon? In this video today, I want to talk to you and show you how you can check if a brand is safe to sell on Amazon. Stay tuned. Right, if you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Parkinson. I've been selling on Amazon now, doing online arbitrage for the last 5 years. Now in the UK, I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller, check this out. And in the USA, I'm a 6-figure Amazon seller, check this out. Now hopefully in the near future, I'm going to expand into another marketplace. And if you're interested in learning how I'm doing it and what I'm learning on my journey, do make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Now, enough about me. What are we going to talk about today? So number one, why you should be considering checking if you can sell a brand on Amazon. Number two, I'm going to actually show you live screen share how you can check if you can sell a brand on Amazon. And then finally, number three, I'm going to share some top tips and tricks with you, some things to think about, which obviously are going to help you out as well. So let's get started. So first things first, why should you check if you can sell a brand on Amazon? Well, aside from, the obvious, like being gated in a brand, it's also important to know that you're aware that there are certain brands that you can't sell on Amazon that you are going to find online when doing, things like the online arbitrage or even the wholesale model. Now, there are certain brands which aren't restricted to sell on Amazon when you use software tools, i.e. like you can physically list them and sell them and Amazon will allow you to ship them in. There's no restriction there, but the brand itself doesn't allow third-party sellers to sell on the FBA or even as merchant fulfilled their products on Amazon. And they take quite a lot of serious action, including legal action about it. Now, if you insist on, selling these brands, the ones that they're not happy with, on Amazon as a third-party seller, then chances are you're going to get something called an IP, intellectual property complaint from the brand owner, which is going to drag your account health at risk and then obviously poor, going from green, amber, and then down to red. And worst case scenario, if you get enough of these, then what can actually happen is you can lose your Amazon selling privileges and obviously your Amazon account. Now, you might not worry and think, hey, I'll just open a new one. Well, unfortunately, you can't. Amazon only lets you have one. And if you lose that one, never again will they let you do it, because they do ID check you now. In my Amazon business, there was a time, and there has been times where we have received a number of IP complaints from, brand owners claiming that we are selling their product without their permission. Now, these kind of cases can still be fixed. However, it does take a lot of time, resources, and even a lot of money sometimes to get them fixed from professional, lawyers and solicitors. But with that being said, prevention is better than a cure. And the idea for you is to make sure that there's some basic checks you can do before listing your products, shipping them into Amazon. You can prevent it before it even happens, and hence why I'm making this video today. Question for you guys, before I tell you how I do it, I want to know, how are you checking for brands? What tools, tips and tricks are you using to make sure that the brands you're selling on Amazon aren't going to give you IP complaints? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so this leads me nicely onto my second chapter, how to check if you can actually sell a brand. Now, there are lots of ways on how to check a brand online. And what I'm going to share with you now are some of the actions that we do within my own Amazon business and from other Amazon sellers, which help us, prevent those IP complaints coming through. Okay, first things first, number one, think about your sourcing methodology. Now, one thing we kind of look at for this is using a method called storefront stalking. This is a method whereby you're going to be looking at what the other sellers are selling and looking for the same brands as them. This is going to give you a big list of brands which other sellers are selling which haven't got problems, because if they have problems, they won't be on that listing. So naturally, by finding all the other brands that other people are listing on, should be fine, and it's going to prevent that problem in the first place. What I'll do now is I'll jump on the computer and I'll show you how to do this. Okay, so first things first, here I am. I've just jumped into a product right now. It's a product which I know we can sell because we've sold it before. And what I'm going to do is just come right down to the right hand side, and I can see here other sellers on Amazon. Now you can see, if you have a quick look here, we've got sold by, and we've got AJT Merch, sold by Speedy Delivery and Skyrish. So what I'm really looking at, just for me and the storefront stalking method, I'm probably looking for people with, a rating or review count. So you can see here 22 rating. This is the number of reviews they've got. Ideally around about above 30. I might get a little bit lower, but probably no more than like 500, maybe up to 1,000 tops. Once you start going with that, they become really big sellers. And I'm really looking for people similar to me. So kind of like the similar review count, then we're going to be quite happy. 30 up to about 1,000, you're going to be okay. So I kind of looked here, this guy's got 22. So if I kind of load up that, I just want to click on this AJT Merch. Let's open that up. What I'm going to do is load up his storefront. Now it will tell us details about the seller. I'm not too interested in that, but what I am going to do is come down to products. And I'm also interested here in just checking that this person hasn't got like an insanely large number of products. I'm really looking for people who do the same business model as me. They buy a couple of products which all look like retail and they ship them into Amazon. So what I can see straight away is this person's got about 22 products on sale. And remember, I did go straight to that product section on the seller profile. So I scroll down and click down here under products. I can see he's got about 22 products in. Happy with that. For me, I'm generally looking at anyone between 20, 30 products and maybe up to 1,000 tops. Any more than 1,000, I'm not interested, maybe up to about 500. Now, once I understand this, I can see some brands on the right-hand side, but also I can see his products that he's selling here right now. And all I can do is I can look through and see what kind of products he's selling, look at them, but also understand the brands. And because he's selling them and he's on the listings, that means that no one else is. And generally I should be safe because I'm using the method to see that other sellers are on this listing. So in turn, I should be safe as well. Now, what I will say is I can go through storefront stalking for a really long time and give you some such detailed information about it. Instead of doing that, why not watch my video up here about how to do storefront stalking? Check that out, I think you'll really like it. Now, the second one, which I'd say for you to help you out, is look for what other Amazon sellers are talking about the brand. Now, this method can be super effective, and especially for new Amazon sellers. You know, there are lots of Facebook groups such as the FastTrackFBA Facebook group. I'll drop a link down below where Amazon sellers are online and they talk about different brands, and they also ask questions about them, like is there a problem, or even maybe they've got an IP complaint, they'll actually say it in the comments. Now what you can do is you can go into these groups, you can then search for the brand that you're looking at, maybe you're worried about, and obviously see if there's been any posts or comments about it, and to see whether you should avoid that brand moving forward when sourcing. Now if you do want to join, to say, a Facebook group for Amazon sellers, do check out the FastTrackFBA Facebook groups. I'll drop a link down below. That's going to help you out, and we have one between UK and another one for USA. Different sellers, different brands, really going to help you out in your Amazon journey. Now, aside from Facebook groups, you can also look at, discussions within Amazon Seller Central forums about that brand. Again, doing that same search for the brand name, looking for feedback, looking for any worries about it. And again, I'll drop a link to the Amazon Seller Central forums down below. Now, in my business and a lot of other Amazon sellers as well, we also use the FastTrackFBA, which is a brand checker, which is an IP checker for all the known brands that we've collected from the groups, the forums, from everywhere that we've seen, and also we've seen from our own Amazon business as well. Now, this is a free online system whereby you can simply go to the marketplace and look up the name of the brand and check to see whether there is a problem with that product or that brand that you should know about before even considering buying and selling. Let me jump on the computer and I'll quickly show you the FastTrackFBA brand checker. Okay, so here we are on the FastTrackFBA website, and first things first, you want to come up to services and then just straight down to intellectual property checker. Click on that. Here you're just going to simply get a whole list of products, and what you can do is see any of the brands and see if they've come up and what the problems are with them. You know, for us, like if we're just going to have a little look through, I'm not too sure. Maybe let's choose one, Blush Baby. Let's click search. And what we can see is details about that product or that brand and what we know about that as well. So what you can see here is this product has had a brand complaint reported in, should we say here, other intellectual property issues. And you can click more details and see some information about that as well, which is really helpful for you in seeing not only what the problem is with the brand, but also what's happened and also when it's happened as well. How long ago we've seen complaints raised about that. Something very important, that sometimes there might be quite an old complaint that you might want to do that, maybe I'm okay because I'm seeing sellers on the listing, or maybe it's quite a recent one, you should get away from it. Okay, so today I'm talking about brands that you need to avoid selling on Amazon. Now the one thing which I will say is you are going to find products which you can buy and resell, like I mentioned earlier, but you shouldn't because of the IP complaints. Finding products is actually harder than maybe we make it look like in the YouTube videos. And if you're struggling, do check out FastTrackFBA leads. Now the reason why I say this is because we've got a team sourcing in the UK and in the USA, looking for all those deals, putting them onto our web platform. Now quite simply, every single one of the deals are run through our brand checker, and if there's a problem with the brand, we will not list it and we will not obviously put your account at risk. And if we get new information to say there's a problem with the brand, all those deals from that brand automatically get removed, and obviously hence protecting you. Now what do? Well, you come in and you buy tokens and you get to review all the deals that we find, every single deal. You get to pick and choose only the deals that you want, and once you found a deal that you like, you then exchange the tokens of the deal, unlock it, get the Amazon ASIN and supplier URL, buy low, resell high on Amazon for a profit, rinse and repeat, and continue to grow your Amazon business. If you're interested and want to know more, do check out FastTrackFBA leads. I'll drop a link down below. Now this leads me nicely onto my third chapter, some top tips and tricks for you. So first things first, number one, I'd really recommend considering using sourcing tools when you're doing your analysis. Sourcing tools are a really good long-term investment when selling on Amazon, and especially for beginners, why they just speed you up. But not only that, they can also help support you in understanding if there's a brand that you shouldn't be selling. It's going to help you out in understanding their problems. Now, there are lots of tools that have brand checkers with built-in, should we say, support that help you out, such as Buybot Pro, FBA Multi-Tool, and SAS. It's super helpful for you, so do check them out. Now, the second one I'd really recommend for you is avoid big brands. Most of the big brands that you can actually see, things like Disney and Apple, they generally don't want third-party sellers on their listings. And we have seen it time and time again whereby some people sell them, then all of a sudden the big brand will do a big kind of like IP complaint, everyone will get taken off, and they'll get IP listings, and then should we say 6 months later, everyone comes back on again. Now, if you are getting a number of IP complaints, that can cause you a problem, because if you're listing, should we say, lots of Disney products, then all of a sudden you're not going to get one for Disney, you'll get one IP complaint per product you're listing, which can mean all of a sudden you're getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 IP complaints. And trust me, when you get that many, that seriously puts your account at risk. So be very careful with big brands and just be mindful of them. Do check them out on the FastTrackFBA brand checker, first of all. Now, what I will say is selling on Amazon might sound super dangerous. Well, it isn't. There is lots of opportunity to be had. And, sometimes you will just get an IP complaint. It does happen. Maybe a brand that's been safe forever, all of a sudden they now start issuing IP complaints. Now, if you want to know more about IP complaints and how to manage them and how we, should we say, manage them as well and get them removed, do check out the video around here called IP Complaints and Top Tips on How to Fix Them. That's going to help you out in understanding more about this situation. Now, hopefully you've liked this video. If you have, hit the thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more videos like this, do hit the subscribe button down below. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson, and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.